Ashley Benefield met her husband Douglas Benefield in August 2016 at a dinner party in Florida. At the time, Doug was 54, and Ashley was 24, but age hardly mattered. At the time they met, Ashley worked in the campaign office of Donald Trump in Sarasota, Florida. Doug was a consultant from South Carolina, a former Navy pilot who worked with technology companies and defense contractors. According to Alice Robb, a contributing writer for Vanity Fair magazine, Doug just immediately thought Ashley was the most beautiful and the most amazing person in the world. She said, "They were saying, 'I love you,' to each other within, I think, a week or so. They got married after knowing each other for only 13 days. They were married by Doug's close friend, Trip Cormany, who was at the time an ordained Episcopal minister. He wondered about the timing, but ultimately agreed to marry them, because he was loyal to his friend." Doug's teenage daughter Eva admits there was friction between her and Ashley. Doug wanted Eva to have a motherly figure in her life after losing her own mother only 9 months earlier. Eva felt that she did not need that. She had already been through significant trauma when she came home from school to discover her mother, Renee's lifeless body. She had passed away of an undiagnosed heart ailment. Doug stepped up after her mother passed away. He made sure Eva could come to him about anything. Was it boy problems or school drama? He would take care of it. But their close relationship suffered after Ashley moved in. Eva said she felt like Ashley was taking away her best friend. Ashley is a former ballerina and swimsuit model who founded a groundbreaking ballet company. Ashley had a dream to create an inclusive ballet company featuring all body types and ethnicities. Friends said Doug wanted to make Ashley happy and he was determined to make her dream a reality. Dancers from all over the country began arriving in Charleston at the end of the summer of 2017 to join the American National Ballet. Ashley also wanted to be a mother, and in July 2017, she became pregnant. The tensions with Eva continued to grow in the household, and one day, after Doug and Ashley argued about Eva, Doug lost his temper and fired a gun into the ceiling of their home. Those who knew him said it was not like him. The same friend that married them said Doug told him that he did the dumbest thing ever in his life. Ashley told Doug and others that she felt nauseous during her pregnancy. She moved back to Florida where her mother could care for her full-time. Doug agreed to her moving back to Florida, but Ashley took it further than he ever expected. On a night when he was hosting a party for the American National Ballet, Ashley drove back to his house and left a 4-page letter listing all his inadequacies and more. In the note, Ashley called Doug possessive and controlling. She wrote the incident when he'd fired a gun into the ceiling had left her fearful for her life and the safety of her unborn child. Eva said she could see the look in her father's eyes. His heart was broken. The following months were an increasingly rough time for Doug. The funding for the ballet never fully materialized and the ballet company fell apart. Ashley unleashed several accusations against Doug. She claimed he was poisoning her with tea and accused him of poisoning his wife, Renee. Her claims were investigated, but nothing was found to substantiate the charges. Ashley did not inform Doug when their daughter was born in March 2018, and she did not put his name on the birth certificate. It took 6 months before he was allowed to see her after a judge intervened. Somehow, the couple patched up their differences and for a year, they seemed mostly happy. Then in the spring of 2020, Ashley suggested a move to Maryland with their then 2.5-year-old daughter and Ashley's mother Alicia Byers. Doug agreed to the move. On September 27, 2020, Doug helped Ashley pack their possessions into a U-Haul truck. Around 7 p.m., Ashley's mother took her granddaughter out to a nearby park and Ashley and Doug were alone in the house. A neighbor suddenly heard screaming and called 911. Ashley walked to a different neighbor with a gun in her hand and told the neighbor she shot Doug in self-defense. The neighbor then called 911. When police and medical workers responded, Doug was still alive, but unable to speak. He passed away an hour later at a nearby hospital. While Ashley made no statements to sheriff deputies, her mother and her lawyer, Faith Brown, did. Her mother said she and Ashley had been living in fear of Doug for 3.5 years. She claimed they tried to get help from the authorities, but that no one would help them. Ashley's allegations against Doug had been investigated by the authorities, but Doug was never charged with a crime. Alicia, Ashley's mother, said that Doug knows how to play the game. Faith, her lawyer, told police that Ashley was planning to get away from Doug once and for all and had an escape plan. She said Ashley had a safe place to stay, a burner phone, and a rental car rented under a different name. She told deputies that Ashley wanted to put the plan into effect the next day because she was afraid Doug had gotten wind of it. Investigators determined that Doug had been shot twice while he was turned away from Ashley. He was shot once in the leg and once in the arm, and that bullet traveled into his chest cavity. The shooting happened in Ashley's bedroom. Ashley did not deny pulling the trigger, but argued that she did it in self-defense. The only person that knows what really happened is Ashley, but she hasn't made any statements. 5 weeks after the shooting, Ashley was arrested and charged with second-degree charges. She pleaded not guilty. She was released on bond after spending about 2 weeks in jail. The case has been dubbed the Black Swan trial. The media's nickname for the case came from the 2010 film Black Swan about a psychologically disturbed ballet dancer. Ashley told the court that she feared for her life and acted in self-defense when she fatally shot her husband during what she described as a terrifying confrontation with him at her home south of Tampa. Prosecutors said evidence from the day of the shooting did not match her description of the confrontation. The prosecution argued that she did not have to shoot him, and they accused Ashley of using unfounded allegations of domestic abuse against her husband to obtain sole custody of their child. Suzanne O'Donnell, assistant state attorney for Florida's 12th Judicial District, told jurors she had an agenda. She got what she wanted. O'Donnell said in her opening statement, "This was a custody battle that this mother was going to win at all costs. The cost was the life of Doug Benefield, and that is slaying." Ashley's other lawyer, Neil Taylor, countered that she filed numerous complaints, calling Doug's behavior to the attention of authorities with no results. Ashley told the court that her husband blocked her from leaving her home, hit her in the face, and lunged at her while she had her gun drawn and was pleading with him to stop. The pair were alone when he was shot, and there was no video of the confrontation. The judge revoked Ashley's $100,000 bond and remanded her in the custody of the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. On July 30, 2024, she was charged with second-degree slaying, but jurors convicted her of the lesser charge of manslaughter. The manslaughter conviction offers a mandatory minimum of 11.5 years with a potential sentence of up to 30 years in prison. Her sentencing is set for October 22, 2024. It remains unclear whether Ashley really did fear for her life or if she's a manipulative black swan straight out of a Hollywood film.